I am going to talk about a forgotten game, Star Probe. Welcome to my channel. I focus on tabletop role-playing games, video games, and science fiction. In 1975, TSR, which was originally called Tactical Studies Rules, and then it became TSR Games, and eventually was purchased and ended up as part of Wizards of the Coast, which you know today. Released a game by John Snyder called Star Probe. Now, I've got the map someplace. There's a map that comes with this. And I remember trying to play this. And it wasn't very interesting. And in fact, okay, a couple of things. The introduction is written by Gary Gygax, for those of you who are Gygax fans. This was supposed to be the first book in a trilogy. There were supposed to be that they produced the second book, but they never produced the third book. So that's there. I mean, you have half a page spent, to give you an idea how strange this game was, half a page on how to simulate a D20. Yes. Well, at the time, D20s were hard to come by, and so you sort of understand that, but there's half a page is spent on randomizers. It's a strange little thing. It's very different from Traveler and so on in many ways. I believe, what was it, that you outfit your ship, and your ship will hold 2,500 people. That's the maximum number, and generally you end up getting close to at least 2,000 people on your ship. So it's not really a role-playing game, and the guy who did this was, in my opinion, somewhat terrified of math. And this is sort of strange because the better way to do this would have been just to do, there's a whole bunch of rules about jumping and how this weirdness about the map, because the map is not, it's a square grid that alternates. It's a brick shape pattern. Well, let's see if you can see. There's a portion of a map, and it's telling you how you count up the distance and so on. And it was the better approach would have been just to use a ruler and measure that distance, which would get you there. And they have, it's for all intent, and let's see if I can find the one line about this game that was interesting. As much as that you play a short game. The justification is exploration, and there's a comment, and I can't put my fingers on it, that you may play and never run into another player because space is vast. And actually, what it turns into my memory is that it turns into basically a bunch of people playing the solo adventure, because they say you can actually play this solo, which is true, and it's slow. It's very slow. You start to understand why this never really caught on. It was an interesting adventure game in that it started to try and lay out some very early rules about how to do space, but it should have done it just turned out to be very, very slow because it just didn't work very well. They did release the second book. I've never played that This one, I mean, I see this thing is like on eBay for $150. It's, you know, I'm going, why anybody would want it? Um, it was originally $6, and I remember buying it from TSR when it first came out. And um, this was the interesting thing is that under other fantasy products by TSR that they had released the supplement 4, which was Gods, Demigods, and Heroes, and they were actually selling Empire of the Petal Throne at that time. That was one I never did buy. I remember seeing it. Oh, Star Empires is listed here. Conquest, Fall of Star Probe separately as an extension to Star Probe if desired. Book it only at $7.50, and Metamorphosis Alpha was out. But I don't remember if it was actually, yeah, I guess it was released by this time. But I thought I had the copyright on this is listed as 75, and I don't know. And the forward was written in 74. I don't know if they did more than one printing of this thing. As you can see, it's a little worn from age over time. It's been sitting in with various books and yellowed. It wasn't conflict and exploration. It was a lot of exploration. You would you'd land on a planet and try and contact the natives and see whatever. And you had a bunch of different things. You had your conflict with determination of the race and the class of the system, and you figured out how you interacted with them. And it just really wasn't that exciting of a game. So I'd like to hear from anybody who's actually played this thing. It's been sitting up on the shelf for a long time that I've had. It was supposed to become a role-playing game that you had. The Star Probe was the exploration, and the Star Empires was the next thing. And then they never did release the third, which was supposed to introduce the role-playing aspects to it. But it's one of the more obscure games that I purchased years ago. So thank you for watching my video. I look forward to learning what you think about this video. Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate all your comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down. I appreciate both forms of feedback. If you're new here and would like to subscribe, you can click on the icon on the left. If you're interested, there's more content on the right.